Good morning, everyone. I hope you've had a fabulous weekend. I'm going to show you guys how to turn this lovely Uni-maid, I don't know what she's called. I was looking for a unicorn and came across this image and it was adorable, so I thought it would be a fun one for really year-round PYO, but I thought it'd be fun for Valentine's Day too. You could easily just do a heart background around her or turn these bubbles into hearts. If you wanted to give it a Valentine twist, you could do something as simple as making your PYO dots in the shape of hearts. So anyway, here she is. I'll show you how I got her there into Design Space. I Googled, actually initially I Googled unicorn coloring pages like a week or two ago to find her. And then today I just put Unicorn Mermaid and she came up as the top one there. If you are selling your stencils or your cookies, whenever you're looking at Google Images, right here at the bottom it says images may be subject to copyright. Learn more. You can read all about the rules there, as well as when you click on the individual images to download them, you should be able to find some information there. I'm just making them like for the next door neighbor girl and my church and stuff, so I don't get too deep into all of that. But here she is. When I initially got her, I just right-clicked on her. Actually, I think I did it on my iPad, screenshotting. But you can right-click, save image as, and I'm going to call her Unicorn Mermaid. I'm going to go a little bit fast because I want to be able to keep this short enough to put it onto YouTube. So Unicorn Mermaid, there she is, save. Now you're going to go into Cricut Design Space and say upload over here on the bottom left. Upload image, browse. Now I'm going to go into my file where I saved her. You can save it on your desktop if that's the quickest, easiest way for you to find it. Double clicked on it. Moderately complex. I usually just pick that, no special reason. The eraser tool to get rid of the background. Zoom out up here at the top right. I'm zooming out so that I can see more of her a little bit more. And then you click on each of the spaces that you're going to want to be part of your plastic of your stencil. And we're only leaving the black outline since this will be a coloring page. You want to leave all of the black parts. I don't think I'm getting that one. And I'll do a video when I get done with this one. I'll do this same video on the iPad showing how to bridge with a stylus. Any touch screen you can bridge with a stylus during the upload process. So much faster than adding bridges. Okay, those are all there. I do a lot of silk screens. Basically, I just think it is so much faster to put together a silk screen than it is to add in all the bridges. You can see on an image like this one, just the tail alone is going to need 1, 2, 3, 4 bridges there and 4 bridges there, plus every area of her body with the scales is going to need a bridge. So you can very easily get into a PYO stencil that is 20 to 40 bridges, which you can imagine if you were individually adding every one of those bridges with a small rectangle and using the slice tool, that could take quite some time. Okay, and then we're going to hit the preview and make sure that we didn't miss anything. Oh, there we go. I need to erase the bottom. I'm going to crop. So we're using the crop tool here and just putting a box around the part we want to keep. Let's see, I need to zoom out a little. Okay, that got rid of the, oops, bottom part. Undo. Preview. That looks good. There she is. And I'm going to save her as a unicorn mermaid. And for tags, I'm going to put PYO. Unicorn. And mermaid. Saving her image. Now it'll show up automatically loading into your uploaded images. Click on her and set insert. There she is. I'm going to make her a little smaller. So if you wanted to turn this into a silk screen, and right here we're going to say line type is cut. Fill, no fill. This is a new, they've changed up Design Space a little bit the way it looks. And so that kind of messed with this over here. If you see, I'm going to hit the undo button. Over here in the layers panel, it says we're going to cut her, but we're going to also fill her in and print that. Not sure what that's about. But at any rate, we're going to change this to no fill and cut, so that now she's just a cut image over here in the layers panel. So if you wanted to make this into a silk screen, you're ready to go. You would simply add your shape, your square, for your stencil frame, and to whatever size you like to make them. In my silk screens, I've been making them a little bit bigger. I just feel like it's easier to get into my frame, and somehow making it a little bit bigger seems to make it hold in this. It's so thin it sometimes, not always, wants to slide in my stencil frame. So I'm going to say plus size. Probably going to make her on a little bit bigger cookie for a PYO. I'm just going to make her a 6. And take her. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. There we go. Arrange. I'm going to move her to the front so that I can see her on there. Resize her. Let's say I'm going to put her on a 4-inch cookie, so I'm going to make her 3.5 inches tall. And then I'm going to turn this white just for the purposes of the video. It doesn't really matter what color your square is. It's just going to cut it. There we go. So I'm going to grab her, hit the shift key, also grab the square. You can also do that over here in the layers panel if you want to grab the design, shift key, and then the square. And up here I'm going to say align, and I'm going to center her. Now we need to attach her. So that is complete, ready to go for a silk screen. Now, if you're not doing a silk screen, I'm going to duplicate that. At this point, I'm going to detach. So if you were not making a silk screen and you needed to insert all of these bridges, I'm not going to demonstrate them all for the video, but I will show you how to do them. I'm going to insert a shape, a square. I'm going to get rid of this square for now. Shape, square. Unlock the corner, and you're going to make it into a tiny rectangle. And then duplicate that so that you have a bunch of them. Like I said, you're going to need a lot for this one. So if you have a touchscreen device, you will really appreciate the next tutorial using a stylus that I picked up on Amazon. You got a 2-pack of them, so if you have a friend, you could share with a friend even. 2-pack of them for $17, really inexpensive. No, I'm not paid by Amazon or anything. I just really like to hit the buy now button. So I'm going to place this. I'm going to zoom in some more for this bridging part. Okay, so placed this rectangle over this circle. Any space that is a closed space, and if you haven't seen any of my videos and start watching them, you will hear that a lot, closed space. What that means, if I were in this space, if this were a room and I were trying to get out, there is no exit. It is a closed space. It is a closed room. There is no exit. This circle is a closed space. If I were in the middle of this circle, there is no way for me to get out. If I were in the ring of this circle, there is no way for me to get out. So it is closed. We're going to open that up so that if you were in there, you could get out. So I have this selected. Now in my layers panel, I'm going to also select the design, shift key, select, and slice. And here's why I like to do it on my iPad with a stylus. You can only do one of these at a time in Design Space. You cannot select like 15 of them and slice them all at once. You have to individually do them. Hopefully they change that in an update sometime. Now we sliced that, so we're going to go up here and here's all the slice result pieces. We don't need this little chunk. We don't need this piece. These are like leftover pieces, slice results. So we're going to grab all of those with the shift key and then not duplicate, my bad, undo. We are going to grab them and delete them. Shift key, delete. So now you can see that there's a notch here in this, opening this space. So that now it is open rather than closed. You're going to have to do that for every single bubble, every single piece here in her horn, and every layer of her body, all of these pieces in her tail, her hooves. So as you can see, there are going to be a lot. Her mane. That's how you would do that. You would just keep going with the bridges. And then you would attach her to the stencil frame just like I did with the other one. So that is how to create the PYO. Let's say I'm going to get rid of a bunch of this and say that whether you chose the bridged version or the unbridged version, let's say you were done, this was ready to go. I'm going to get rid of all these pieces. And if you were ready to cut, delete, then you would hit make it, and it shows it is going to cut the square out of your materials, and it is going to cut her out of the center of it. And I often get asked, do I need to mirror? Technically, you only need to mirror a silk screen if you want the silk on top. Otherwise, it really doesn't matter, and silk on top, silk on bottom is a matter of preference. At the end of the day, design-wise, either way completely works. I do all of my stencils mirrored, and the only reason being, I like the silk on top, and then I never have to think about, do I have to mirror, do I not have to mirror? Because if I had font in this and I wanted the silk on top, I would need to mirror. So I just always mirror, don't have to worry about it. Then you would hit continue, and in the stencil file, in the files, in the group, you will find stencil cutting suggestions. And if you have any questions, as always, feel free to ask them, place them in the comments of the video if you are watching this on Facebook or YouTube. Feel free to comment there, ask your questions, and I will answer them. Thanks. Have a great day.